Alright guys, so I finally got this tank cleaned up, degreased, it's got metal prep in it, it's about ready for paint. It's dried out, I had the fan on it for quite a while, but that'll be coming in a how-to video hopefully in 2 or 3 weeks when I actually finish the tank. It still has to be painted on the inside, painted on the outside, I have to get the right hoses for everything, it's just a lot of work. So until then, you're going to have to be waiting. But there's another thing I was looking at, and that's the smog equipment on my car. I know the L24 for 73 has a lot of extra smog equipment built onto it, and I'm thinking about trying to remove that air pump and all the little things, try to make it run a little bit better. I know some of it, you know what, it probably works, it probably does, but I just want to eliminate any issues with things that are unnecessary on the car. So let's head over there. Alright guys, so sorry for the glaring light. I don't really know what to do about it other than move it, but I don't feel like moving it. Anyway, what they did was put some control valves and air pump and a bunch of cool things for emissions, since apparently they were worried about the environment way back when. And what I'm going to do is remove everything, because I don't know why it doesn't have to be on there for my state, my emissions, for being older than 25 years older or 35, whatever the rule is. I think it's like 75 or 70 something, and older cars don't have to do emissions. So I can remove it. Now, I know I want to do the V8 swap, but first I kind of want to get this engine running right. It really only needs these things removed, the air pump removed, reroute the fuel lines, a brake booster, distributor, heat shield, fan. Okay, it needs a lot, but there are little things that I feel like you can do for like a budget of about $500. So I might as well do it and make the engine run right, so I know that I have a good running engine. I can drive this car if I did want to. But other than that, I will continue to save up for that V8. But for now, I got to keep myself occupied. So what needs to be removed? Everything that's connected to the air pump, including the air pump. So I know that these things do work, because I notice whenever I raise the throttle and let it go, it does settle itself back down in a couple little things. But like I said, I just want it gone. So I'm going to have to take apart this, these lines, plug this, take off this hose going down to the air pump, intake to the air pump, and then I have to plug some holes for my air filter, of course. But other than that, it shouldn't be too much to do. I don't see any how-to write-ups online on how to remove these things, but I guess I can film myself removing it and maybe make a parts list sometime, but it really doesn't look that bad. So to be honest, I'm so confident in doing this that I'm doing it on a Saturday night, really late, tired, and I know that's something you should never really do working on a car, but this looks that easy, and I will give you my full review as to tell you how much of a pain it really is. But it looks like something that you should really not consider not doing if you have this car set up. But before I begin, I highly recommend purchasing these ratcheting open end wrenches. Best invention, best investment. I don't care how poor you are, buy these before you buy a car. So sorry if this isn't really great quality, high definition and everything. I am also, just so you know, using autofocus on a cell phone when I'm recording all my videos. So that's why it goes in and out every once in a while, and I apologize ahead of time. But here we go. Best stuff ever. This is another amazing tool. Buy extended needle nose pliers. They look goofy as crap, but they work so well. So right now I have a seized bolt as is expected on any old car. I'm gonna spray it up a little bit more PB Blaster and come back to it another time, but I mean, I basically have it all out. Alright guys, it's the next day. I let all the bolts soak with some PB Blaster and it's just time to finish it up. Alright guys, so it's all cleaned up finally. I definitely have some holes to plug up. I have about 3 or 4 and it definitely looks a lot cleaner. Especially down here, you can see that the air pump is gone now. That hose is gone, and I actually have the pieces right here. Alright guys, so I finally have all the pieces laid out on this except for the air pump actually. The biggest thing to take apart, or the hardest thing to take apart, would have to be these mounting bracket bolts that go into the engine block. They were seized, but I sprayed them and let them soak overnight, and then I also tapped them with a hammer, and they finally just broke free after I took it with the breaker bar, actually, because I got better leverage with the breaker bar. I didn't need more power. It was just easier to kind of bump it to break it loose. But other than that, I will have the thread sizes for the plugs coming up soon. It'll be in the comments because I do not feel like doing that right now because I have the gas tank to worry about before the engine's even going to start. But other than that, I hope that this gave you a little bit more confidence to do this. I'll let you know how it works for me when I get the car running again. But until then, good luck.